Where is your notebook with references? Sahib, why you come and sit close here? I may have to ask a question. Would you better sit here, please? Push the chair in front here. Right. Now, have you finished with the preliminaries?
Yes, the presentation has been translation and we will explain the procedure and introduction has been done.
Right. So it's question answer session straight away, right?
Answer.
So who's going to monitor this and
Mudaffar Club.
Will you? Please do.
I'd like to call the first questioner, Hazur, and that's Mr. Kailash Chanda. I'd like to read your question.
Yeah,
just state your name and where you're from.
Where is supposed there?
My name is Kailash Chanda from Leamington Spa, and I'm a friend of Mr. Salim Justet, MD Leamington Spa. Your Holiness, in your opinion, what is the solution of the mad cow disease which affecting the whole world as well as on the Christianity?
Excuse me, the voice is not carried up to here through the this public address system. Is something wrong? So maybe the loudspeakers are directed, towards the audience.
Yeah.
Try and speak.
Here we are deprived of this sort of
Excuse me.
small island where we can't hear the voice properly.
My name is Kailash Chandra. It's too loud now.
It's okay.
Leamington Spa, Warwickshire. I'm working as a bus driver, Hindu religion. I am friend of Mr. Salim Mujassid Ahmed in Leamington Spa. Your Holiness, in your opinion, what is the solution of mad cow disease which affecting the whole world as well as on Christianity? Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, please. I was expecting such a question, but I am really intrigued by the interest taken in the mad cows and not in the mad humanity. It is the mad humanity which is going to jeopardize the future of man.
Yeah.
And we are already witnessing such behavior on the part of politicians all over the world, which indicates suicidal policies regarding the human values. Now, when I say they follow suicidal policies regarding the human values, they think human values are not national values.
Yeah.
They lie outside the domain of national interests. This is absolutely wrong. Without paying serious attention to the human values and moral standards, no country can gain from any political wisdom at all, because wisdom is something else and execution of wise things is something else. When it comes to execution, there you require a high standard of morality. Otherwise, nothing can be done. So legislations are all right, relating to mad cow disease, for instance. They can slaughter any number of cows, some of them may be mad, some not. But the question is, why did it start? Why did it happen in the first place? And this is not something which must have erupted suddenly. It must have a history of many years where this disease was raising its head and most probably was suppressed, not the disease but the news of the disease, for the fear of loss, until a time came when it went out of your hand. And this mad cow disease here is also related to the same in European countries. I remember not long ago there was a news item regarding Switzerland. that some official of the government who had leaked this information to the press was penalized for talking about mad cow disease taking place in Switzerland. Similarly, it is reported that in Germany also many cases have been reported, but they have been suppressed. So also in other countries. So the point is, why shouldn't they have at least a European panel of investigators who go into the whole matter from the point of view of Europe and see where it began, how it works, and there should be a united policy, well charted, well worked out, which should apply to all European countries. Unfortunately, Britain has been singled out as a target of criticism by all the rest, while, as I have pointed out, I suspect that this disease is not confined only to Britain. Why should it be? There has been free exchange of beef previously for many years. Why should it work only to the disadvantage of the British only and not to the disadvantage of those countries which had imported meat before that? Secondly, in my opinion, there should be a sort of quarantine applied to only those areas where this disease has been definitely been established, where this disease has been found present, and it should not be, the British people should not overreact to this issue by destroying all the cows everywhere in the country. This will be a disaster of a national order, and the entire economy is going to be shaken. It's not a small thing. So what I have in mind is to first pinpoint the areas where definitely such cases have been reported, to put them under quarantine and start examining the fields where the cows are fed, the clover or whatever it is they feed to the cows here, or the grass fields. They should be thoroughly examined, and before a hasty action, it should be firstly pinpointed as to where the diseased fodder or grass or whatever it is present and how you can handle that. It's a question of the next 10 years or 15 years policy, which, if wisely made, can root out the future threat. Or just by slaughtering the cows here and not taking care of the pasture where they are grazing, it may erupt again, may be suppressed for a while and then may raise its head again. So I personally believe, I have been watching the news and the discussions on television, I think appropriate measures have not been taken so far in the right direction. Too easily, Britain has accepted the role of the target of the whole European community. This should be contested. But perhaps it is because they are expecting some aid of £1 billion or something, and that is what has left them no choice for taking up the issue seriously and debating it. So I think it is in the national interest of the British people to raise this issue, as I have suggested, and investigate. If I am right that such cases have been reported elsewhere in Europe, then it should be made a question of the entire European community. They would resist naturally, but nowadays you can find evidence without any problem. You know, you are a country of Sherlock Holmes, and the methods which are mythical